So the basics, promoting your podcast. Now, does it seem a little bit strange to you that I would recommend promoting your podcast and executing a promotional plan before every other step? Yes, it's a little surprising. And a year ago or so, I would have actually said the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? I need to figure out all these other elements first. But the reality of it is, when you are podcasting, the phrase, if you build it, they will come, does not apply. You do actually have to do quite a bit of upfront to get eyes on your podcast. A very quick and to be honest with you, truthfully, it was deflating for me. Was when we launched our podcast and I counted the number of subscribers and people who listened, and it was really just our family, which is normal. So I do want to level set with you. Your first target audience is going to be your friends and family. It is not going to be the masses. Your friends and family are actually going to help you spread the word. Which does happen organically and it does happen fairly quickly. So we'll talk through some of that as well. The key here is that you want to generate excitement for your potential listeners. Your friends and family are going to be your initial audience that you're targeting. You would want to release promotional information via social media, but I really do strongly recommend producing a teaser audio for your podcast. This is basically going to be the very first episode that you produce. It could be 5 minutes. It does not have to be very long. And it is essentially going to feature who you are, the topic of your podcast, and any other details that you think are important to share in advance of your first episode. You want to create that hook here for your audience. Why does this podcast matter? What is making this podcast stand out from others? Why is this unique? Now, it's already unique because it's coming from you and you are the only you that's there, as cheesy as that sounds. But it's really that simple. You're going to bring your own energy. There are thousands of podcasts out there that focus on issues relating to women. I bring my own energy to my podcast. You're going to do the same for yours. And you will see that this is going to resonate with people. People are going to catch on. It just takes time and consistency. Those are the elements that are most important. You can promote your podcast on any platform that you want to, but choose one that you're most comfortable with. Once you've selected a platform, there are two things that are going to enhance your engagement fairly quickly. You're going to be creating new social posts that promote your content and engaging with people on their posts. And both of those steps are pretty crucial. When you create posts for your channel, wherever you're going to be posting things, you can post videos, you can post audio teasers, and you can just post static content, like flat content that's just of images with words. The important part there is really to hook people in. Now, I did mention something else, and I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but there is an element that a lot of people overlook, and that's actually engaging with people on social media. So it's not so much just putting your information out there. You actually have to interact with folks as well. You will see whether you're creating a fresh account or you're using an account that already existed and you're just going to build your podcast into your own personal account. You actually do have to go into other people's posts and comment on them. If you happen to, what I had started to do in the beginning when I was looking at Instagram as a platform, when we started out with Still Roses, my cousin created an Instagram account and she said she was managing that. And I eventually stepped in there as she had to step back. She had to step away from the work that it was. And so when I started stepping in there, I'd put posts up, but a big element of it was I would actually go in and search for accounts that mentioned women, empowering women, mom stuff, mental load of motherhood. Like I would search key terms, it would bring up other accounts. And then what I would actually do as a method to promoting Steel Roses was I would go to other people's accounts. I would comment on posts that were relevant to my episodes. And I would actually direct people back to my posts, to my episodes. So you'll see in the guide itself, I actually have a screenshot of an example where I do this. And it's okay to do this. You're not taking away from the content that's already there from the original poster, but you're actually adding more value there. Now, when you do this and when you go into social media and you start commenting on other people's posts, that's showing momentum for you and it's getting your account and your podcast in front of many other people. So if you comment on an account that has 1 million followers and you start commenting frequently and you're pointing people back to your, bio, because on Instagram you can't link in your comments, unfortunately, but you can link in your bio. If you're pointing people back there and everything, you're going to start seeing more people start following you because they're seeing you wrote something interesting, and then they will actually access the podcast at some point. So that's really your end goal. I want people to see I'm commenting here because I want them to get that engagement and be able to know, like, all right, I'm a pillar of, excellence here, and I know what I'm talking about, and come over here too. Everyone's kind of doing it that way, but what is important is being consistent. That's where a lot of people fall off. Consistency is the most critical component for you when you're trying to get your message out there on social media. Engaging with other people is incredibly important. And those two things combined is a powerhouse to start bringing people to your podcast, to your website, to wherever you need to point them to, and making sure that they're listening to you and liking and subscribing to your podcast. That is the ultimate goal.